News Chief Meteorologist Jason Smith with an update on a line of severe storms that's getting close to our area. We can see it right now. We've had some showers move through the area this evening. It hasn't been too bad. The line of storms is still to our west, and it will be moving through tonight. We do expect it to weaken once it gets into the area, but on the onset, as it enters the forecast area, especially inland areas to the north and west, we could see some severe weather, especially thunderstorms with gusty winds. That's the primary threat here with this one. As it moves further to the east and south, it will run into a more stable air mass, and so the severe threat becomes more marginal, especially late tonight around 11 p.m. and up until about midnight tonight. Right now we see the lines making a little progress now, and through the day we've been awaiting this. There's been a lot of wind around the area. Wind advisory in effect today, very, very windy, and also a high surf advisory. So there's been plenty of active weather ahead with this storm system. Now let's go into the latest here as I zoom in for you. And taking a look at it here, we'll start out with what's happening as far as how close this is to our area. I'll stop it right now, and you can see that the line is getting really close to our area. It's still a little west of Greene County, so Leakesville not seeing the storms yet, Lucedale not seeing the storms yet, and certainly not Mobile. The heaviest of the rain is back towards Hattiesburg. There's a lot of red in this, meaning high reflectivity. There are going to be some heavy downpours, but modeling is favorable that to weaken this some as it moves in. So looking along that line, there's nothing that is alarming as far as tornadic activity on the southern end, but we have had some reports of possible tornadoes to the north. Let's check the alerts. And presently in the state of Alabama, no active tornado warnings. Looks like we had one up around Birmingham earlier. We had some reports of some damage there. And right now there is one severe thunderstorm warning for the state, and that's going to be to the south and east of Alabaster, the Calera area, so it looks like Shelby County getting some rough weather there. And there are no watches and warnings in our area right now. We're not included in a tornado watch or anything like that, which is a good sign. We know we've got an active line out there, and there is some severe weather potential, but it is a little lower for the Gulf Coast region. So we have that as a possible issue perhaps later tonight. Right now, still looking pretty good, and no sign of any watches or warnings being triggered in our area. There is a line of some lightning along the line. We're seeing that back towards Hattiesburg and Laurel and up towards Wayne County, and that's where we're getting the most active weather as far as lightning strikes. Severe potential has changed. We've seen the level 3 enhanced risk for areas to our north and west dropped. We've seen most of our area is going to be included in what we call a marginal risk. There is a slight risk for severe weather further to the north, so it's going to be a level 2 risk for Washington, Clark, and Monroe counties. The rest of the Gulf Coast is in the level 1 marginal. It doesn't mean a 0 chance, it just means it's a lower chance than places upstate where there's a little more instability. And eventually this thing's going to run out of steam as it moves to the south and east. It's going to run out of the daytime heating. So we've got that going on. All right, as far as the wind advisory is still in effect, and also a high surf advisory. It's been really rough down at the beaches, and we're going to see that continuing in the forecast for tomorrow. So rough surf will keep rolling in even as the winds change. It'll be a little colder tomorrow morning too. Back to radar. The most intense parts of this line are going to be to the north. We are looking at some of that rough weather really knocking on the doorstep of northern Clark County. There's Thomasville right there. That's in our area. Pretty strong cell north of Coffeyville. It's up near Bashai and Morven, but still to the west before the main event arrives. That's going to happen a little later on. I think probably by about 8:30, 9 o'clock, we're going to see this enter into the area, maybe a little sooner for Greene County. And then it'll sweep right on through tonight. This thing's going to move, so it's not just going to sit around. And once it punches through, we'll start to see some improvements. So how does this look in model form? Well, we've got our HRRR Futurecast. That's a high-resolution Futurecast. And we're going to take it forward till about 9 o'clock. And look what the Futurecast is saying. It's got the line as a squall line. And typically, the southern edge of a squall line is less of a tornado threat and more of a severe thunderstorm threat. And it's not as bad as when you would see supercell thunderstorms breaking out ahead of the main line. If you get tornadoes along this line, they're usually brief and weak. Hopefully that'll be the case, or we don't see any at all. And then we work our way into the 11 o'clock hour. Our line looks a little weaker, and it's moved out of the slight risk zone and into the marginal risk zone. We've got it by 11 o'clock, pretty much right on the edge of Mobile. And then by midnight, the line's falling apart. It's moving through South Mobile County, South Baldwin County, and then it's not as bad of a look to it with that marginal threat as it moves across the Panhandle by 1 or 2 a.m. So we'll start to see that surface line move pretty far to the east by that point. So let me get back on camera here and I'll show you what we're thinking here. And you've got the surface line here you saw on the Futurecast. It's just going to work its way through the area tonight. So we'll keep monitoring it here on Fox 10 News. If we do see anything tornadic, we'll break in and let you know. But right now we do see a lowering severe threat overnight. We do have a couple of more hours. We're going to have to watch out for areas to the north. I would say through about 11 p.m. or about midnight. That's going to be the greatest area of concern for the inland parts of the forecast area. The southern edge still could get some rain out of this, a quick quarter to a half an inch, and some gusty winds are possible. And then we'll flip the script and change everything up for tomorrow as it starts to feel cool once again. And it looks better for the Apollo Parade and then also for the Incas tomorrow night. Not a threat of severe weather there, and good weather for Mardi Gras stuff over the weekend too. More on that on Fox 10 News at 9 p.m. See you then.